Hey there, guys, gals, fans, and pals. Your buddy JohnMegacycle here. Another episode of Factorio Warptorio edition. Yeah. It is the usual mighty early in the morning, but whenever I start a new project, I get a really heavy hankering to just play it crazy. Like I don't want to stop playing games? Weird, right? Yeah. Weird. No. When it really comes down to it, I'd like these to point the other way, thank you. I don't know what it is with my brain, but, like, my brain will just be, like, in a weird stasis for a very long time. Then I'll be like, I don't know what I want to do. Stuff's boring. And then, all of a sudden, my brain will come up with a project. Hey, you know, be fun. You know, be a real hoot. You know, be a real hoot. Would be, this thing. And then I load up the thing and my brain toys with it. It's like, what's the potential there? Is that fun for me? Is that fun for someone to watch? Is there, like, are there, like, some learning moments in there? Like, what's the gimmick? Is it fun? And if my brain says, yeah, this could be fun, then the rest of me is just, oh, okay, we're just gonna think and do nothing but this forever now. That's where we're at. And then that's all I want to do. So, it is mighty early in the morning. It is a work day. I need to work in a few hours. I was a little restless that I'm up, so my voice is really deep, because that's how it works in the morning. Just like, hello, how you doing? That's how my voice works in the morning, and that's how that works. I'm trying to think of anything funny or silly to say, but I don't really have anything. Awesome. Better weapon damage. That was, what, 15% or something? 10%? Oh, there's a lot of extra tech. I like that. 10% if it's shot from a turret, and 10% for the magazine itself. Yes, that's a 20% boost, plus 1.05. Awesome. Awesome. That's awesome. I like that. I kind of feel like I use that term a little too often and a little too... well, often. Everything's awesome. I would like a few more turrets on hand. I only have the 2. I also want more repair kits on hand. We could go to electric drills. We definitely have the technology for it. Only real reason that I'm not going to is power is still a bit of an issue to tote around. Actually. 2 megajoules. Huh, okay. Neat. So maybe that's what the power... there's an energy transfer upgrade or something. Warp planet teleporter energy upgrade. Yeah, okay. So I could actually have power in the base. Oh. That was jarring. We could have power in the base, in the core base. And then what we could do is we could use this teleporter majig, and we could set up power bases wherever we want, which is going to be probably really important for laser defense, I'm thinking? Something? Yeah, something. Something. Okay, attacks are starting to become a bit more regular. We don't have to retreat immediately, but it is something that we should consider. I didn't have coffee ready this morning, so I'm sipping on an energy drink. I really need to cut out the early morning caffeine and the after the noon hour caffeine. I think that's kind of killing me a little bit. Okay. I think it's safe for us to pack up. Iron is more important than coal, so we're just going to do this. Pack up coal first. We could last for a while, I think. The only real issue is it worthwhile to stick around and pay the cost of ammunition, right? That's kind of the deal. For every fight we fight, we're losing ammo, right? Because that's what the guns are using to defend us with. So that's our big question is it economically feasible to stick around? And very soon I'm going to assume that answer is going to be a resounding no. Yeah. Can we defend ourselves? Absolutely. Is it worthwhile? I don't think I'm pulling enough iron out of the ground and smelting it quickly enough to make that viable. Or it won't be the case for very long, I should say. So I can kind of abuse this little teleporter thingy by doing this. Get all the stuff. Warp. Cool. And now we'll get our power base, and then we're out of here. Oh. I can always repair later. Yeah, pumping water into the base actually sounds really cool. That way. Okay. And then providing the power inside the base. Speaking of inside the base, I'll take that. You can have that. You can have that. We're still researching our little hearts out. Yeah, I needed to be super careful with that. So I don't pop out of the base and the base warps without me. Alright. This is another relaxation map. There's water all around and it seems to go on forever. The nearby fish that greet you fills you with determination. Words are hard in the morning, man. I can't even. I just can't even. I just... Well, you want me to read and talk? Okay. Like, that's what my brain is at. Sometimes just like, what do you want? Oh, God. You know what time it is? We should be sleeping. And I just had a hiccup there, so that was even funnier. And then I say back to my brain, yeah, we should be sleeping. Why did you wake me up at 4 in the morning? Oh, well, I wanted to talk about Factorio a bit. And then I'm just like, ugh. This is why. This is why we're so tired. This is why we can't get anything done that requires any amount of intellect. So I'm not getting enough sleep. Oh, okay. Alright. What's the plan? Let's talk tech. We have weapon speed. These warp harvesting platforms sound good. The warp reassembler. And then, oh, 250. Good gosh. It is a 15% increase, though. So that's cool. Warp factory floor requires steel. I guess the answer is there's a lot of stuff we can do red style. So I could do this. And then what's this? Warp boiler floor. Okay. How many more floors do we have? I only really knew about this one, the factory, and the harvester. I knew that they existed. But then not really much after that. Warp factory floor, yeah. Let's do a bit more expansion before I get this, because I'm going to assume this is going to put in a reactor right in the middle. Mining speed, not super important. Heavy armor requires what? Yeah, steel. Not super important. I'm not going to get the steel in a while. Let's start with that. What room do I have for more labs? At least one more lab. I like this little setup we got. It's compact and it's not very... well, it's clean. I'll give myself that. There's that. We could do one more. Right there. And leave that unpowered until I get the lab ready. This daisy chaining is kind of annoying, but it's working for our purposes right now. It's doing the work. Personally, I don't like daisy chaining when it's, when you've got several science packs. I wonder if that's where I'm supposed to put smelting. which I can do. That's not that big of a deal. So realistically, I got like a 20-minute furlough here or whatever. 17 and a half, I should say, is what's remaining. What are we doing? Steel, boiler, floor. Okay, you know what? We're just gonna wrap up. I don't think there's a... I can't move. As much as sticking around here makes a lot of economical sense, like just being able to build up my research and build up my tech, and those are the same thing. Well, get more things moving. I kind of want to keep moving. I'd rather keep the game with a more pasty paste. I don't know. I'm looking forward to whatever this is going to be. Oh, crap. I have to really stop doing that. Let's put you right there. It feels about good. Oh, what do we have for ammo? The usual critters and riches surround you, but something feels missing. That's a lot of coal. Oh. Okay, this particular item, the warp, mobile gate, teleport, whatever, seems to remove itself from my inventory anytime we warp, which is fine. Nope. None of that is going to work at all. That's probably good. Uh, 20 in each is probably fine. We're getting to the point where I don't think I can afford being so stingy on stuff. So I'm just going to stagger it out. And wait for it to propagate a little bit. There we go. Cool. And now I'll take it all. And that way, no matter how much coal I take, I can't starve the system completely. It'll be impossible. Impossible. Rhinoceros, impossible. Here I'm trying to rap and I can't get a good flow because I can't talk. Because I'm a shilly-billy. A shilly-billy. I do have a beautiful NPR voice, National Public Radio. Thanks for joining us. We're in the middle of our pledge drive for June. We've already had some wonderful turnout. Make sure to talk to your employer to double your investment for every dollar that you send NPR. Some employers will match and double your offerings. And I've got the voice for it, right? Calm, suave, cool. This is JohnMegacycle for NPR. I don't have the morning radio personality voice of, like, you know, WKOW, the cow, featuring Mad Squirrel and the Jackal. Like, I don't... I have that amount of energy for, like, 5 seconds, and then I'm like, I'll go back to sleep. This analogy's tiring me out. Alright, 17, 8. Just give me all that. Let's redo it. I screwed up. Okay. We got some proper smelting here. How much more stuff do I have? I have a fair amount. Could add another chain of coal. Coal is something that I want to always have a lot of on hand. And the reason being for it, I think I mentioned it early in our season, is whenever we make landfall, I want to be able to process anything we come across. So in this case, if we come across a lot of iron ore, if we don't have coal on the planet, that's fine. I want to have enough coal on me to just keep going with stuff. I didn't deploy this. Oh, okay. So nothing happens if you don't deploy it. Neat. We're out of power, correct. Because I forgot to set that up because I'm a dork. Power is, yeah, that's an easy jaunt. That's an easy jaunt. This guy. And this guy. Oh, whoops. Haha. Silly Billy, right? Silly Billy. Already under attack. Our base is under attack. And then, of course, there's the... what is it? The Evolved. So there's the Survivors and the Evolved. So then... The, our base is under attack is a Survivor version, and then the Evolved version from KK&D is... They're destroying our buildings! At least I think that was the Evolver. Oh, okay. Man, there's a fair amount of resources here, and I'd really like to stick around at least a little longer. I feel like I just set up. I'm gonna plop down one more turret. And then we'll check and see how the other areas are handling. Oh, weapon speed level up just about. Excellent sauce. Okay. Ammo, get in over there. I'll set this up by iron. Boop, ba-dope, 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 ba-dope. Cool. All mess of iron, which is going to be turned almost immediately into bullets. Whole lot of coal, which is going to help me turn the iron into bullets. Okay. There we go. I figured it out. I'm a smart lad. And that's the excuse I'm going to tell myself forever. Yeah. Kind of feel that's probably our next point. 46 ammos. It's amazing. Can I see production? 48 a minute. 48 times... Whoa. Okay. Oh, production's on the left side. Okay. Let's say every 10 minutes. 154... Okay, so 15 magazines are being made a minute. Times 4, that's 60. I'm burning through 60 iron a minute. Is that a lot of iron? For defense? Like, I still feel like we're in the very early stages of the game. For defense, that's a lot of expenditure. That's a little... That's almost bordering Death World level numbers, I think. I'll just go around. Hoping when the factory floor expands, it'll be a little less obvious or a little less easy for me to fall out of the world. Like that. Like, I'm kind of hoping these items stay where they are, then the rest of the platform expands out. That would easily prevent the chance of me, like, oh no, we're about to warp, and then I walk through a thing and it's like, ah, crap, now I'm on the outside. Yeah, we're pulling a lot of bank here. This is awesome. Really? Are we just out of stuff? Oh, those guys must not have... Oh, maybe I clicked on it and pulled from them. Probably getting kind of close, we should scoot. Again, we could come on. We could probably last here quite a while, but I don't really feel like risking it. If we ever have an inkling that we should scoot, we should probably scoot. Yep, that's a lot of dudes. That's a lot of dudes. Come get some. We were able to boost our reserves of everything very nicely. Copper is going to be the next thing I need to really look after. Sorry for the clicking, I had to mute for a second. My cat Jax must have had a nightmare, woke up all mewling. I don't know if you could hear him. He's adorable, but he can get finicky at times. just gonna pull all of this brick and or brack. Yeah. Yep, we could stick around longer, but this is costing me quite a bit of ammunition. Which is another reason why bullet damage is really important. Obviously, for what their purpose is, right? More damage is more killing, but the thing is I'm killing more per dollar, so it's more economic as well. I'm spending less on magazines because the same magazine is doing more work. Okay, did we get everything? We got everything. Let's get the power base and let's GTFO. I think we got a fair amount of coal out of all that. Iron as well, yeah. Next run is going to have to be copper. I don't know if I already said that or not. Jax is giving me the big sad eyes. Hi, Jax. Aw. Who's a cute kitty? You're a cute kitty. Yeah. And let's scoot. Got everything? Got, yeah. They're waving in really hard. So the text was, the usual critters and riches surround you, but something feels missing. That feels like it's a much harder world, as opposed to, this world reminds you of home. So we're gonna have to keep an eye on some of the phrasings and stuff, because I think that gives us a good idea on the generation of the map. Usual critters surround you, but you feel like something's missing. Okay. Kind of more to the point I was just making. So, set up shop, but don't stick around too long. We could warp immediately if I don't want to deal with this. But oh my god, a minute 20 on the warp charge? Goof. What is around here? Okay. This is definitely where our warpy platform is going to come in handy. Water's also super, super nearby, so that's delightful. There we go. Yeah, since I'm not really using copper for a ton of applications right now, this is perfect. And 4 on each. Nope, come on now. $25, I think, is good for the run. In terms of ammunition. 12, 24. This is a little micromanagey, but I want to make sure everything has ammo and enough of it. I don't want to give everything 5 rounds and then be like, oh no, I'm losing my base. I was too careful or something. There we go. Okay, that feels really good production-wise. Set up our power grid real quick. This guy. And this guy. And... boop. All the power! And same deal here. 28, split, 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 and split. Cool. Shouldn't need to defend that super hard because of how close it is to the base. But still to point. I'm actually going to pause right here. I'm going to take care of Jax. He's getting a little too finicky. I want to pet him real good and stuff. So I'll be back in just a minute. I wonder if there's like a low pressure system or something weather related happening today, because I got all 3 cats. 1, 2, no. Zenly's still sleeping. I've got 2 cats here, Nico and Jax, and they're all sharks circling the water, circling the boat. What? Oh my gosh. Everyone's so panicky. Nothing happened, like... I slept okay. I think 2 of them slept with me last night. It was adorable. Well, anyway. They maybe want food, and it's not food o'clock yet, so they're just gonna have to be patient. Patient? Cool. So we have a little bit of an energy storage here in the form of coal. So if ever we can get stuff moved around, like I said, move our energy into inside the base, or something, that would be really, really cool. And would give us, you know, would give us a little bit more protection. That way I'm not stringing out for power all the time. And actually, I kind of need that coal. I thought I was still pulling coal on this planet. Did I do the thing? I didn't do the thing. This takes almost no effort to do the thing. Oop. Not that much. Thanks. So as we're playing, our base is becoming more and more sophisticated. There's more production and more fabrication that we're doing inside of our platform base, which is great, right? We're trying to expand our capabilities. The only problem with that is we're generating way, way more pollution, which is going to very obviously trigger more waves quicker and stuff. So we're going to have to scoot a little more frequently. And a little earlier. So it's imagine it as like a very simple scale, right? Oh, what did we just research? Crap, I wasn't paying attention. I super wasn't paying attention. Boiler floor. Did I skip it and I didn't even see it? Oh, I did. Oh, okay. So power grid goes here. Gonna have to figure out some way to get water. Unless they expect me to use solar, which I can. But that's a bit of a... That's gonna be a bit of a thing. I forgot what the heck I was talking about before I interrupted myself. I seem to do that often. I guess that's okay. Have a little more iron. I did want more turrets, which I'll make right now. It'd be nice to have a little bit of a copper stash. I don't need this much copper on me for any reason. 200 is more than enough. But this is great. Yeah, I haven't bothered with copper for a while, so we'll be able to sock that in pretty neatly. After Warp Factory floor, mining production sounds good. Okay, that's already queued. Everything else is red-green after that, which is fine. Let's do optics for 10. Heavy armor for 30. I'm kind of trying to get a lot... Oh, character mind speed plus 100%. I like that. I'm trying to get some of this stuff cleaned up before we open up the reactor, because the reactor seems like that's going to open up a ton of things. Yeah. Warp platform logistics. Let's see what that does. Actually, there's no way for me to just make that the front, is there? It's fine. There we go, with something like that. We still have quite a bit of potential here in red science before I've got to muck around with green. And I'm not afraid of green. I'm not afraid of science. Like, once we get to oil and stuff, I'm not afraid of it. The only thing that's going to be any real concern is the space. The storage space is going to be an issue. How are we going to fit all green production in here? And the thing is, I might have to separate it out. So, like, 2 machines right here, whatever. 1 machine just cranking out circuits nonstop. And then another machine here that's going to make inserters nonstop, or whatever. Like, maybe we start doing something like that. But I wouldn't mind getting a few of these more land upgrades before we worry about that all too much. Okay, these trees have been providing a fair amount of cover. And eating up some of our pollution, I would assume, yeah. Okay, we're still on smalls, which is fine. I'm going to start panicking once we get to... Oh. Once we get to medium biters, things are going to be different. And spitters, things are going to get different real quick. I would love to belt the ammo instead of hand-feeding ammo. That would be really cool. Depending on how the platform expands, hopefully that'll be a thing. Who else needed? You needed. You needed. Make a little ammo myself. There's that. Yep, this is great. This is a great haul. Yeah, so check this out. Yeah, half a chest of I was gonna say steel, of copper. Yeah, looking good, looking good. With Warptorio, we have to be really happy about the little victories, and by that I mean we're gonna warp a lot. So we have to just really take a step back and be like, what did we accomplish in this jump? And it's like, well, we survived. That's cool. You know, all the resources we're collecting, all the research we're doing, all the stuff, we're evolving constantly. So if this is your first time playing Warptorio, do not become discouraged. Because, like I said, this is a different way to play Factorio. If you're setting up a regular game, a regular vanilla save, you might find yourself setting up the game and then trying to automate stuff immediately. Make a bunch of belts, make a bunch of inserters, make about 200 stone furnaces or whatever, and then just get at it. And that's fine if this was a regular game of Factorio, but it isn't. Okay, this facility is incredibly cramped, and I'm looking very forward to the upgrade. You can just have all this stuff. Okay. I think it might be time to go. I was hoping for that Warp Factory floor upgrade before we left, but that's okay. Am I being a chicken? Probably a little bit. Probably a little bit, but like I said, I'd rather leave and survive rather than try to be super gutsy about it and be like, well, we stuck around and got another 500 copper, but I almost lost my everything, you know? Like, look at the main base on the minimap. That's freaking out. And as much as I enjoy the show Freakazoid, we're not gonna stick around for very much longer. There we go. I was trying to get that power pole. Okay, so I don't know if you may have noticed, or I might not have brought it up, but when we warped here, the timer was actually set to like 1:30. And the longer we're in an area, the actual warp charge will tick down for us. So it kind of gives us an idea that we should stick around a bit as much as possible, but not at the risk of death. Oh, this is glorious. Finish out all your research, and then we're going to rejigger the entire thing. Oh. Okay. We're fine. We're fine. Everything's fine. Nothing's broken. Oh, okay. I'm just gonna wait. Okay, thanks. This world reminds you of home. Okay. Iron and stuff up there. Let's hook up power first. Yeah, 37 copper. Ugh, coal and stone. That's super worth it, man. Heck yeah, that's worth it. Alright. This thing... I will say this. Having to set up and reset up and reset up and reset up the base over and over and over again does give me some really good practice for a speed run. If ever I wanted to attempt it. I think the very best I've ever done... Oh, was there power? Oh, there was still power in the main base. Nice. The best I've ever done, like, trying, was 7 hours and 40 minutes to rocket in a vanilla game. Something like that. Like, that's not fast. But that is pretty fast. I've seen some speedruns that are just ridiculous. Just, everything is dialed in. What, 3 hours, 2 hours or something to rocket ship? Oof. Very impressive. I'm not that fast. Talk to me 15 years ago when I had a reaction speed, but Not anymore, no. Okay, coal I don't really need. Iron would be cool. I don't need stone. Got a lot of stone. Let's clear the way a little bit here. One, two, 1, 2. I was trying to be careful. But yep, I knew that was going to happen. Brilliant. Cool. And turrets to boot. If I'm going to place turrets, I'd rather group them up as closely as I can. That one... Okay, something in the 20s, 30s is good. I'll be right back. I need way more ammo. Okay, all the sciences have been drained out. Perfect. Ugh. Looking real forward to a time where I don't have to fart around with that anymore. Yeah, iron is fine by itself, because I'm going to spend a bunch of time redoing the base. So give me this. Realistically, this is just going to be a lot of pushing it out, so... Huh? That works for me. That works for me real good. Uh-huh. Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. And then this should probably do something like this. And this will accommodate green whenever we get there. Damn it. This goes away. We're gonna push red science way back. You can have all that. About every 2 minutes or minute or so, I should probably go check on iron. The problem I could see with this is because I'm spending so much time down here, I might lose track of what's going on up here. And we're already fairly under attack. Let's clean this up a little bit. Okay. We should probably warp soon already, which is unfortunate. But we've got some time. I don't think I'm in too much of a rush. This is going to be a little difficult to try to get all of the resources together. It seems like a little bit of a waste. Oh, that won't work. Rats. Rats, rats, rats. I was hoping to do some sort of a threading thing. Let's do 4 reds. And let's just keep red science going for now. Something like that feels pretty cool. Yeah. That'll work. That'll work. That compacts that nicely, and I could still do some rudimentary green. At a minimum, I should probably start working on circuit production, but that freed up a bunch of space. Oh, bullets can be moved, certainly. Absolutely. How we do? How we do? More iron for me and you. Oh yeah, let's move this. Need nearly as many errant poles either. Nope, I can't move that. Okay, that's fine. Just hoping to maximize as much of the space as I possibly can. All of it. Boop. Oh no. Thank goodness inserters are smart, and they won't just feed garbage into something that doesn't need it. That looks good. Yep, that gives me some room. I always like to do that for spacing. So this is going to be a little weird and inefficient, but efficiency isn't super important right now when I don't have a ton of room to make it super played out. Can I have a long arm inserter? Seems a little smarter. Yep. So you have this, and you have this. Right? Cool. Neato torpedo. I'll take a little of that. You can have a little of this. I'm going to take a little of that. You can have a little bit of this. I'm not going to set a limit on green circuits because I'm going to need a ton of them. How's power looking? Everything still has ammunition. Okay. Warp platform logistics. I keep coming through the wrong way. There we go. I might need more ammo factories already. Whoa, okay. Thank goodness I didn't have a bunch of really expensive stuff sitting on there. Oh, did this expand again? Okay, so what is this now? Pipes. 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 Oh, wait. I can get water down here now, can't I? Cool, we could move the power base inside. And then I can use the warp pad to... Okay, maybe if I respawn it? I don't know if this gets pipes also, but that would make a lot of sense. Hey, neat. Okay, cool. So, water goes into this, which goes into this, which goes into this, which goes into this. Power base. Right? Cool. So we ship water inside, store it inside, and then we do whatever. Everything that's being done inside of the platform is expelled outside. I guess I shouldn't have said everything. I should have just said pollution, because that's what it is. That's what does it. And we're gonna pack up. So it doesn't matter if I'm doing the pollution generating inside the platform or outside the platform. It doesn't matter. Also, from what I understand, the platform itself generates pollution. Without any real control of my own, the platform itself will just produce pollution. So it's very much I can't just stay here and not be attacked. I'll always be attacked, no matter what. And boop. Boop. Ba-doo. 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 Boo. Okay, I would like 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. I'm gonna need, I don't know, 6 of those, and a mess of these, and all kinds of stuff. Oh, we just ran out of power anyway. What timing? That worked. Warp charge is 30 seconds. I'm not gonna hit it until I'm on the boat. Yoink, I lied. There we go. I'm gonna go around. Thank you very much. What did I just lose? Right, okay, that's fine. The water comes in here-ish or whatever? Usual critters, but something feels missing. Okay. This is starting to get a little weird. Boop. 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 And real simple. Less simple than I thought. We're okay right now. Like, everything is fine. I don't have any power, but we're not defenseless or anything. So, I'm guessing, like, this? Cool. So, water, right? I don't know if this is working the way I think this should work, or if there's something I'm missing, or what. We'll find... Hey, stay tuned. We'll find out. Trim that down a bit. I want to make sure the house is in order. I'm very much... I'm a good domestic person. I like to keep my house in good order before I head out. I don't know. Okay, well, this example's a little weird because I don't have to go very far, but... Oh. I'll take that. That's a lot of coal, thank you. I want to do a little bit of hand-holding about this because I'm not sure if this is going to work the way I expect it to. Okay, so water comes in. Water goes in. Water goes in. Water goes in. Okay, and here's a little kickstart. Cool, okay. That's great. Okay, so no more expensive power infrastructure. Oh. There we go. It wasn't connected to the thing. So this isn't needed. Okay. Alright. So all the accumulators, all the platforms are linked. And they have to be connected as such. That's completely fine. 100% understandable. I get it. Okay. Cool. Well, that makes that very easy for me. Iron. So much iron. I need it. I need it bad. Almost as bad as, what was his name? Shooty McShootface from Borderlands 2? I want to say Borderlands 2. The clip is a little inappropriate, but it's funny because he's just losing his mind and wants to be shot in the face for reasons I don't understand. What I do, though, is I do respect his wishes to want to be shot in the face. I don't know, this is a weird conversation already. I don't know why. I don't know why we're still having it. I do need more coal. No. Yes. I'll take all that. Nope. Okay. That's a bit of a habit I need to break. I would like more power poles, and I could probably start using the lumber I have as fuel. Excellent. More coal production than we usually have. What else? What else? We're good on copper for now. I don't think I need any more of that. We're already under attack? A couple of little guys, no big deal. Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to green science for fluid handling? Fluid handling. Because then we could pump a bunch of water into the base. And then that'll act as a battery. The coal and the water will act as, like, you know, we'll just have a bunch of reserves, and that way we can actually keep flowing for a bit. without any real danger of I warped to a place, it took me a little bit to get power online, and we're out of power, and that's a big problem, and whatever. This is cute, though. I like this. That's an elegant solution. Okay, 166. I need inserters and belts for green science, which I don't have yet. Right. What did I just research? Probably no. Already did all that. I did that. It wasn't better armor. Craps. That's one thing that kind of throws me for a loop is I'll set up a huge queue of like, what is it, 8 researches or something? And when we're in this red-green phase, research is going to be so quick that there's going to be a lot of a time where I'm going to be like, what were we doing? What did I finish? Rubbish. And I just won't know. Which is fine. We do have the exclamation points here saying this is new stuff. So that's at least cool. We've had steel for a while, so that doesn't count. New armor. New heavy armor. I'm gonna guess that's it. I'm just kind of glad they're attacking the main base. As weird as that might sound. Oh. We're not going to be very welcome here for very long either. Breathe it in. That's the good stuff. Alright, well, let's take a bit of a break here. Things are progressing very, very nicely. Internal power system, bigger warp factory floor, some weapon upgrades. Lots of good stuff got done. I'm really happy with this. So, thank you all for joining me. Name's JohnMegacycle. Another episode of Factorio Warptorio edition is in the books, and I hope to catch you next time. Hey there, guys, gals, fans, and pals. Thanks for checking out my video. I also want to take a moment to thank all my supporters and donators, and if you'd like to join up with me and game with my crew, all the information to get connected is in the description below. Thanks again, and I hope to catch you next time.